Live from Delaware, it's Hoagies and Pierogis! With your hosts, Ian DiCarlo. We're getting a little double down. Chocolate Rain. And RJ Hammond.
I just want some more hot tea in my life. Let's just say he was a good lover.
RJ.
Hello.
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 Episode 72.
72, baby!
What is it? Cien? I don't know what 72 is in Spanish. Whatever. Fuck it.
Oh, well.
Okay. It's going to be a surprise to our Instagram followers because I have not been keeping up with clips. The last one I posted was from 69.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's all right.
So I need to get on that. But yeah. We're like getting back into the swing of things. This kind of seems normal.
We just had some times where the schedule got off and it just kind of pushed everything back.
Yeah, it did. It really did. But it's been chugging along. Things have been pretty moving pretty well. We've had sports like every day the past week.
Yep, we got sports again today. We're in the middle of like 56 straight days of football, like being on. And we got hockey's going now. Basketball's coming up. College basketball's coming up. Like once we get towards this late October into November, that's when things really start to ramp up. Thanksgiving's big time. Big
yeah.
Sports time. Like that week is just great.
And game on Black Friday this year too.
Yep.
Yep.
That's pretty crazy.
That's gonna be awesome.
They're just have a game. They're just gonna end up having a game on every day of the week, at some point.
Dude, that's totally fine. I mean, it happened kind of 2 years? Was that 2 years ago?
Well, yeah, with COVID, and they
Yeah.
had to kind of move around. That's a little different though. Like they'll have scheduled games on like a Tuesday. I already see it coming. It's gonna happen. No one's stopping them. Roger Goodell just got re-signed for 3 more years.
Yeah, I saw that. He's 64 now.
Yeah,
He'll be 67 by the time this is up. And the previous what do you call them? Commissioners retired at Tagliabue retired at 65, and the other guy retired at like 63 before him. So,
what if Roger's just a guy that's just like he's like Bill? He's just like I'm just gonna keep going, just never let go.
We'll get into that too, but I just hope that they stay away from games on Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah.
At least until October's over.
Yeah.
Because, baby, we still have playoff baseball to talk about.
Yes, we do. Yes, we
do. The Phillies moved on from the divisional round last week, and they pretty convincingly beat the Braves. The Braves didn't really show up.
The Braves, man, they just... I don't know why people do that. It's like I kind of said when people kept like saying these things when they are playing against Dion in Colorado, like they're just making a story out of nothing. Like these teams just keep making stories that there was really no story other than like there, and they just keep saying things about the bank or about the team, and it's like, all right, well, you're about to get fucked now. Like
it's like, oh god damn it,
Orlando Arcia. Philly fans made that guy lose his mind in the dugout. I don't know if you saw that video of him yelling back at the fans and Acuna being like, dude, turn around. Who, speaking of, just was nowhere to be seen during that whole entire playoff.
Right. It wasn't there something that was like that got recorded in the locker room or something that Arcia said?
He said, attaboy Harper. That's what he said, and that's when Harper just went off. And he stared him down, rounding second base both times.
If that's what it took for Harper to go off like he's been going off, then by all means.
Did you listen to his interview on Pat McAfee at all?
No, I did not.
You need to listen to that because like it is like his mentality about baseball and playoff baseball and everything is like everything you want in a superstar. He's like, I had such high expectations growing up. Like, that was the challenging part. Like, that was the part. Like, that was the pressure. Now, like, this part is all fun. Like, this part, the adrenaline, the emotion, like the playoffs. Like, this is what I live for now. And like, he says it so much more eloquently. But like, I was like, God damn! Like, thank God we have him here.
Right. A poll is going around Twitter right now amongst the baseball nerds. Whose career would you rather have, Bryce Harper's or Mike Trout's?
People have said Bryce Harper is living out the career Mike Trout, like, wanted or like dreamed of, but
right.
He, like, not for his home city, and which sucks, especially the way it's going now. Like,
so would you rather have the one of the best, not the best though, statistical careers of all time and have no rings, hands down Hall of Famer easily, no matter what, or be Bryce Harper, have fun, blast some homers in the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, it's
have a good chance to win a ring this year.
Yes, like,
it's probably will end up in the Hall of Fame too.
Yeah, I'd rather have that.
I mean,
I'd absolutely rather have that.
Oh, like, I hit 280 instead of 320 for career average. Boo hoo.
Nope, he does. That's not. He doesn't care. He cares about mashing taters on the biggest stage
and winning important games.
Pimping homers. Oh my God. I mean, they're like up and down the lineup. There are a couple weak spots in there still. Like, Bohm kind of finally came out of his slump there last night. But like Rojas, he's kind of like an automatic out. Who else? Who's the other guy? Oh, I forget. But
Bryson Stott hasn't been doing so hot.
Yeah, he had that key double last night. Like, he showed up in certain moments. I'm trying to think of who the other one. Oh, Brandon Marsh is hit or miss. Like, there's still some holes, but like, everyone has slowly been rounding into form more and more as you go along, and it's like, that's exactly what you want. And Aaron Nola, I mean, give him all the money. Give him all the money in the world. He's been an absolute stud in the playoffs for us.
Tearing it up, dude. Tearing it up.
And like,
so
he doesn't like fall apart. Like, Wheeler pitches like an absolute ace for 5 innings and then starts to get a little shaky in the 6th. And if you have him out there in the 7th, like, you've seen what happens when he gets a little bit later in there. He does get kind of shelled. But Aaron Nola, like, I would trust him to go a complete game if we needed him to. At this point, like, he loves being here. He said he wants to stay here, and yeah. I just love a guy like that.
I agree with that. I totally agree with that. So in that game against the Braves, Harper and Castellanos hit 2 home runs. Crazy. They won 10-2 in that game the last time we recorded.
Mm-hmm.
And then Castellanos goes and turns around and hits another 2 home runs to close out the Braves. Dude, Castellanos is just he shows up at the right moments all the time.
He's the swaggiest man in the world. Like, he's just got like five buttons undone. He just sits there, he pimps it, and then you get the shot of his son Liam in the crowd freaking out after the second home run. And every time I see him, I'm like, Liam! I'm just yelling at the TV.
What did I say to you that he said? Oh, Castellanos is like, after the game, he was the person asking him questions was like, so you just hit 2 home runs. You were the first player to hit 2 home runs in back-to-back games in the playoffs ever, and your team won. And Castellanos said, where's the question in that?
Yeah. That interview after was very funny.
That was so good. And then immediately, just game 1 against the Diamondbacks. A 3-0 lead right off the bat thanks to Harper. Yeah. Harper had a home run. Well, Schwarber, first off, had a home run, too.
First pitch.
He's been getting in on the fun.
Run. Yeah.
Harper had a home run. Castellanos had another home run.
the home run was crazy for Harper because the Schwarber one was first pitch, and I was like, holy shit. But, like, that's just something Schwarber does. Like, I think there's some stat that he's behind him hitting, like, first pitch homers. And then Bryce came up, and I was like, also watching the football game, and I saw a home run, and I thought it was a replay, and I was like, yeah, Bryce, he's just been great. And then I'm like, oh shit, that says Arizona. I was like, no fucking way, he did it too.
Yeah. It has been all things Philly.
And poor Zach Gallen, man. A guy who, like, grew up around Philly and had to, like, pitch against that crowd and that team. I was like, that's gotta suck. I mean, he might not think of it that way. Like, he might just be... He's a pro. He probably doesn't think of it that way. But, like, I would definitely be like, damn, I really wish I was on the other side of this.
And then that first game, I mean, it got a little hairy at the end. They won 5-3.
It did.
But Kimbrel came in, shut him down, got that double play to end the game. That was nice.
The bullpen management has been really good. Like, it's one of the things that I've noticed the most as someone who doesn't watch as much baseball as someone like you does, where I'm like, all right, I'm questioning what he's doing sometimes. I'm like, oh, why are we bringing this guy in now? And then the guy might get himself in a bit of a jam, but then he gets himself out. And I'm like,
right.
All right, he just trusts his guys, and he's just putting them out there.
Well, I think that's the thing they were missing against Houston last year was their bullpen kind of imploded. And their starters kind of imploded, too, for the most part. And
we didn't have, like...
Well, it was like blowout one way, blowout the other way, blowout one way, blowout the other way.
We have a more depth at pitcher, just all around. Like, we haven't even had to really tap into a fourth or fifth starter, who we still have, like, Tyrone Walker. We still have, who's the other kid? Pesci, Christian Pache.
He's like, center fielder.
No. Who's the rookie? Christian Sanchez.
Oh, okay. Like I was thinking of Ryan Kierkring.
Oh, Kierkring. Yeah, he's been coming in with, like, middle relief sometimes. But yeah, it was Sanchez. He's been really good. Like, I get the feeling that people trust him too. So that's what we have against the Dodgers, right? Or against the Diamondbacks now.
Yeah. Well, Kierkring came in. He closed out the game. 1 hit, 3 Ks.
Yeah, and I think Stubbs was catching too. They took out JT, and they had Stubbs back there catching.
Yes. Yeah, they did. They took out Schwarber and Turner. They were like, guys, have the rest of the night off. Schwarber got in on the double home run fun too.
Oh yeah,
just every game, just home run.
And that's one thing that I've been
fucking
listening.
10-0 last night. I woke up and I was like, what the fuck?
And you know what? They got some runs in there with some small ball too, which I was happy to see because, like, pretty much all our runs have been, like, solo shots, basically. Right. We've been crushing solo shots. But we've been leaving some players left on base, and I was happy to see, like, all right, we can hit a couple, like, singles to the outfield to get a couple runners in.
Yeah, this was just a clinic. I don't know. Dude, how did the Dodgers do so bad against the Diamondbacks? I don't understand.
And maybe this sounds arrogant, but, like, every team we've come up against, it's like they're hot. They're a really good team. Like the Braves are the best team, best offense. Like, what can we do against them? I'm not saying we're an underdog. No one's, like, really counted us out after last year, but it's like no matter what we've had to face, we've had some type of answer so far. And, like, while the Rangers are rolling on the other side, I have confidence going in if we face them. And even the Astros, that, like, everyone is playing great. Alex Bohm, forget about the batting. He's need to fix that. He's playing like a Gold Glove third baseman. He's had some fucking snags and some incredible plays over there. And after last year, when he had that day where he said, I fucking hate it here, like, the turnaround he's had has been incredible. That
will go down as one of the great moments in Philly sports. But you kind of got into it there a little bit. The Rangers and the Astros, the battle for Texas for the ALCS.
Ooh, it's been much less of a battle, more like a spanking.
Yeah, much like how the Phillies are putting the hurting on the Diamondbacks, the Rangers have been putting a hurting on the Astros.
The whole playoffs has kind of been like boring overall. Like there was that one Braves game where the Braves came back from the Phillies. But other than that, they've all been like, all right, chalk it up. Maybe someone wins a game here, but it's just keep it moving.
Right. They won the first game. The Rangers did 2-0 on a great catch from Evan Carter. Evan Carter is an incredible rookie. I think he still maintains rookie status going into next season, so he could win Rookie of the Year next year.
That's fun.
Dude, he's so good. He had 102 plate appearances in the regular season. He only had and he got on base 43 times, 43 out of the 102 times.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty damn good. Yeah. Josh Jung in third base, their other rookie right now. Also an incredible defender to compare to Baum, you were just saying.
Yeah.
Every single play, diving, throw. Jung is so fucking good. Yeah, the Rangers rookies are looking sensational. So damn good. And Houston can't figure out the Rangers pitching other than Yordan Alvarez, who is just a monster of a human being.
He's been, yeah. I've been watching. I haven't watched much of the games, but I've seen his home runs pop up like all the time, and I'm like, okay, this guy's just. But the rest of their bats have not woken up yet, and it's not looking great, especially losing 2 at home, like to start. That's tough. That's tough to come back from. And you have
fucking
they lost. On the road.
They lost 5-4 in game 2, so not that bad. We'll see what they do tonight at the Rangers' new stadium.
And like, isn't Framber Valdez? He's been like cold.
Framber Valdez. He has been pretty cold in the playoffs. He's usually lights out in the playoffs.
Is he the
He's
fucking
one of their
guy
guarantees.
that pitched that was part of the combined no-hitter against us in the World Series?
That may have
Vasquez
been Christian Javier.
Yes, it was Javier. Fuck that guy. I need to try to remember who I was angry at.
Valdez is their lefty that has a really good curveball.
I mean, if anyone
it's
can
exciting.
do it, it's the Astros. If anyone can do it, yeah.
So by this time next week, we'll see what the World Series matchup is. Probably.
Yes, we will. Hopefully.
Okay, into college football. Dude, a couple blown leads to start the week. WVU versus Houston and Colorado versus Stanford. I was not going to talk about them, but
well,
here we are.
The WVU Houston, I was just watching the Thursday Night Football game, which now I don't even remember what it is. And I just had that game on my phone while I was sitting there watching. And I was just like watching this, and I'm like looking down, and then like I look down again, and I'm like, wait, some shit's happening over here. And then I see West Virginia score, and I'm like, holy fuck, I just covered. And then Houston, I was just like, I can't believe that. I was like, no one deserved to win if they bet on that game. And my God, that was incredible. And I made me forget about the Thursday Night Football game, whatever it was.
So, yeah, West Virginia, what did they do? They went down, they threw the touchdown on 4th down.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happened?
Houston got the ball back with West Virginia kicked the ball off. They didn't squib it, so they had like a decent return. They got the ball back with like 12 seconds or something.
Yeah, I was going to say like 12 or 13 seconds.
Yeah, they had a chance to take a shot. They took the shot, and fucking Houston caught it and won the game in just incredible fashion.
Yeah, there was like 21 seconds left to go on 4th down, I think, and West Virginia scored that touchdown.
Yeah.
And the stadium obviously erupted. But guess who the fucking head coach is for Houston?
Yeah, Dan Holgerson.
I didn't realize. Yeah.
Holgorsen.
Holgorsen.
Yeah, if you want to put it that way.
Holgorsen.
Yeah, and Houston is like one of the worst Big 12 teams too. And West Virginia's actually was having a pretty damn good season so far, except for like the loss to Penn State. That's the only game they lost. And they just lost to Houston, who just sucks. They're just not good. They're really not a good team.
They aren't. That was a bit of a kick in the ass that fucking bald-headed fuck, except for on the sides, came in and beat him. That was disappointing.
Yeah.
Well, from one bald-headed fuck to another bald-headed fuck, Deion Sanders. Colorado, what are you doing?
They just don't have a defense, man.
99.8% chance to win in the third quarter.
I fell asleep. I wasn't even up for this. It was crazy. I watched it back, like the condensed game and the highlights and stuff. And this receiver from Stanford, I forget his name. He just single-handedly put the team on his back and was like, and he just caught the ball on Travis Hunter's head, and it was just such a bad visual all around for Colorado. Like their defense is so bad. Like we'll talk about USC's defense later, but Colorado's defense was
my god,
it's really bad. And Shedeur, you can't even blame Shedeur. Shedeur balled out. I mean, they scored so many fucking points, and they had to go to overtime. But the fact that it even got to that is a shame.
Bad. No points in the third quarter. They only scored one touchdown in the fourth quarter to put them ahead. Actually, they pulled ahead in the fourth quarter, but then obviously Stanford scored again and tied it up.
Crazy.
So, yeah, Shedeur had 400 yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception. So it's not on him.
They're I said they were gonna win. I said they were gonna make a bowl game. Looking forward at their schedule right now and their record, they might not make a bowl game. It's a possibility that they might not make a bowl game because Arizona and Arizona State look a lot better than everyone thought they probably are going to look.
Yeah. What's the requirement?
I'll pull up their schedule. 6 games.
You can't lose more than 6.
You have to win 6 games.
Oh, you have to win 6. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Which, let me see if I can find their schedule.
You know what? I think they might do it. Here, I have it up right here.
Like UCLA this week.
Wait, yeah. that's quite the gauntlet to finish it out.
They need to win 2 games in there somehow.
UCLA, Oregon State, Arizona, Washington State, Utah, all in that order, all in a row. No off weeks.
Your best bets are maybe this week at UCLA because of Dante Moore, who's a freshman, like a true freshman, and Arizona. But both of those are not easy because Arizona's pretty damn good. Like they're not going to end up with a lot of wins in the Pac-12, but they put up fights against everyone. I mean, they blew Washington State out, who I was blowing Cam Ward earlier this year.
Dude, Washington State shit the bed. They've been shitting the bed the past 2 weeks.
If the Pac-12 does this bullshit where they eat themselves alive and are out of the playoff, I'm going to lose my goddamn mind, and I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be happy that they're just destroying the conference because it is just absolutely despicable. It's so good. It's the best it's been in years. And if they fuck it up or they don't get 1 in, it's insane.
That would be insane, and I could see it happening. Let's just stick with the Pac-12. Let's go over USC first because you already mentioned USC. I don't think Caleb Williams is the one.
No.
That
was bad. It was a bad performance.
3 interceptions in the first quarter against Notre Dame.
That might be probably the best defense he's ever seen in his college career.
Drake May.
And you see it happen in the NFL where some of these elite quarterbacks just get flustered by a very good defense. And that USC team is soft. That front line's soft. He had no goddamn time. And honestly, the defense wasn't as much the problem. I mean, they sure didn't stop him at all. Like, they weren't stonewalling them, but USC's offense kind of shit the bed there. And I don't completely blame Caleb Williams, but he definitely had probably the worst game of his college career. And I think that he's out of the question for the Heisman now. Like, he's out.
Yeah. That was bad.
He's not going to do it again.
199 yards and 1 touchdown in that game.
Yeah.
God. And Notre Dame.
I have to confess something. Because I might not have been banging on the table, but I think I said at the start of this season, man, I cannot wait to bet Notre Dame against USC later this year because they are going to crush them. And I'm
pretty sure you did say that.
I said it every week, in and out. And it got to game week, and we had that little discussion about what if Caleb Williams just goes out there and is like, I'm him. And I got in my head, and I fucking bet USC money line. And I couldn't be more mad at myself because if I had just bet Notre Dame, I could have full on come in here and been beating my chest and saying, I knew it, I've been saying it, and now I have to be like, I'm a dumb fuck and talk myself out of it.
I don't think they were that big of underdogs, but they were still underdogs, I think.
Yeah, they were like 3-point dogs. It was like plus 115 for the money line, but I can't believe I let them do that. I knew they were soft. I knew they were baby shit soft. And
well, like I said last week, another prediction about USC. I was like, it feels like they're building up to a loss, and I was like, this is the first like real team USC has played. They really have not played anyone else.
I think
I remember saying this last week.
Yeah, and I said last week or even the week before, I said, don't be surprised if you look up at the end of the season and USC has 2 to 3 losses. And Notre Dame was definitely one of the ones I was thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what?
This might start the domino effect a little bit.
I'm going to be chasing Notre Dame and USC the whole rest of the season, trying to get on the right side of them again.
That's hilarious. Yeah, 48-20. That's just. Did Notre Dame did they have 2 kickoff returns or just the 1?
I don't remember.
I thought it was 2 for some reason. It may have been a different game, but yeah, God, that USC.
I kind of tuned out of that game.
The frauds are done. Yeah. Fuck that. Let's get to the real Pac-12 game that mattered. The game of the week.
Yes,
Oregon at Washington. By far the game of the week.
Best game of the year. Best game of the year by far.
I agree. I agree that it's game of the year. I'm glad you said that because I was going to say that, but I didn't know if I was going to say it because I didn't know if you would think that I was crazy.
No, absolutely not. It was absolutely the game of the year. You nail it on that. It was an incredible football game where you did it was a high-scoring affair, but you still got to see it wasn't just paper defenses. There's some defensive stops, there's some key defensive plays, and it came down to a 3-point game that could have been a tie game if Dan Lanning had just kicked a field goal before the end of the half.
Mm-hmm. After the first half, I was like, "Damn, whoever's gonna have the ball last is gonna win."
And oh man, it was. And I hope this is what I was talking about with the Pac-12. If they screw themselves somewhere here, I'm gonna lose my mind because this is the game that we should get in the Pac-12 championship again. Both these teams, they need to win out. They need to play again, and it is pretty much a win or go home game. I think, depending on how the rest turns out, it could be. The playoffs right now look very interesting with the possibilities in hand, and I've said this, it'll probably figure itself out.
Mm-hmm.
But they should be up there. And if Washington wins again, obviously they're in, Oregon's out. If Oregon wins, then you got an interesting thing. And I think they both deserve to be in that. They're both very good.
Yeah. Washington did jump Oklahoma and Penn State, which I thought whoever would be the winner of that game would do.
Yeah.
So that I don't know if that's good or bad for Penn State. It honestly just depends on what happens this weekend.
Matter. Nothing matters
Yeah,
until the 3 games.
right. But my God, I do have a bad feeling that Washington might lose because Penix was hurting so bad at the end of the game. If they went into overtime, I feel like Oregon would have won. Just because Penix was, you could see him grimacing really bad.
They both played really damn good, and I don't know who you could really tip your cap to as far as who played better, because Penix may have looked shaky sometimes and was a little hurt, but he was getting pressured a hell of a lot more than Bo Nix was. But Bo Nix also had moments where he was like, I'm gonna do something for my team, whether it was like taking off with the ball and getting a first down, or just making an incredible throw that was like, holy fuck, this is not the Bo Nix that I remember from Auburn.
Right. Did you see that 2-point conversion that Washington made?
Yeah.
I could not believe that worked. That was like some Colts bullshit.
Oh, yeah. I couldn't. Oh, yeah. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me right here.
Right when he threw it, I was like, oh, that's an interception. But somehow he held on to it and made his way in right behind the group of receivers in front of him. But
I couldn't believe that.
That was great. Oregon went for it on 4th and goal instead of kicking the field goal at halftime. So
and
maybe that comes back to bite them in the butt, but who knows if it would have been played out the same way if it was.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if say he converts those fourth down, like there were 2 key 4th downs that he went for that they ended up not getting. That like now you're looking at it as, oh my God, what a horrible decision. But say he makes both of those, then you're like, he's a genius for being aggressive. And he said it in, I think either his halftime interview or post game, where he said, we're an aggressive team, we play aggressive, and we're going to always remain consistently aggressive, which I liked. Like, it made me even like the decisions more, even though it ended up in a loss. But like, if I was an Oregon fan, I feel like I'd be like, all right, well, like, he's being consistent. Like, he's being consistent. We're going to be aggressive, and hey, we still have a hell of a chance to get back there and still put ourselves in the playoffs later.
Maybe if he would have kicked the field goals instead of went for it, his kicker would have had more practice.
Yeah, that's a fair argument as well, too. Like,
I'm kind of joking, but hey,
if you're gonna blame anyone in that game, yeah, I mean, he's the one who missed it. You hate to just put it all on the kicker because, God, they get it a lot, but and it's college kickers. But Bo led them right down the field, put them right in position. Sure, maybe they could have gotten him a little bit closer, but you're at 40 yards, man. You got to be able to hit that.
That was a great game, but I was just I couldn't enjoy it because I was so mad. I needed Washington minus 3.5. So fucking mad. When Oregon started coming back, I was like, fucking kidding me. But it didn't even matter because Louisville blew it. I had Louisville minus 7.5, and they just got crushed by Pitt.
Yeah, I didn't have. I forgot to text you and be like, "Oh, that's just the biggest sucker line." I hope you can change that, because I looked at that and I was like, Louisville, and then I was like, oh fuck. No, they're gonna get fucking boat raced by Pittsburgh. They just beat Notre Dame. It's just one of those college football spots that I've come to like learn. It's like Louisville's gonna get boat raced, and man, did they get embarrassed.
That
like,
was bad.
Like it just happens with these teams who, and some of them prove you wrong, like TCU last year. But sometimes you get those teams like that. They pop up. You're like, oh fuck, Louisville. Maybe we got to take them seriously. They beat the shit out of Notre Dame, and then they go and play a 1-5 or 1-4 Pitt, and just get dusted.
Pitt's so bad.
They're very
so bad.
They're horrible.
It sucks. But I think you said last week, Washington is like the TCU this year.
I don't even think they are anymore, because
that was like a Max Duggan performance from Michael Penix. Well, it really was.
That part, yeah. But like TCU last year, there were so many spots where like quarterbacks got hurt, and they like the West Virginia game last year, I think, where they like barely kicked the field goal in time and shit like that. Like Washington is just a fucking good ass team. Like, they deserve to be in the playoff, and I hope in some way we can get Oregon and Washington in there somehow, and somehow Penn State. And I don't like. It's just gonna be crazy.
Yeah, well, Penn State looked pretty fucking good in the final tune-up, although I know it was Massachusetts 63-0 in the rain for the first half of the game.
Yeah, they did their job. They did what they needed to do. They didn't like slip up and have a tough first half or something like that. We're going to the shoe. It'll be interesting. I'm not working, thank God, because if I was working during this, I would die.
Yeah, 12 o'clock. Oh man, I'm gonna get rowdy.
It's interesting. It's so interesting. I don't know what to think. I'm just gonna have to wait and see, because I think it's truly gonna come down to who's gonna step up, Kyle McCord or Drew Aller. Because I think we both have good defenses. I think Penn State has a slight edge on defense, but Ohio State's defense is definitely better than it has been.
Right.
And it's just going to come
Penn
down
State's
to those.
defense is the best in the country, like literally.
Yeah, it's very good. Can we shut down Marvin Harrison? If we take out Marvin Harrison, what can not CJ Stroud, Kyle McCord do?
Yeah.
I'm so excited. It's going to be a fun game.
Right now,
I love these games.
Right
games.
now,
I know.
It is Wednesday the 18th. Penn State is a 4.5 point underdog.
That's fair.
4.5 point.
Right.
I figured it would be like 2.5 or maybe 3.5, but 4.5 is a little.
I would have thought 3, and I think you just get that line to 4.5.
Oh.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hello. Yeah, I can hear you.
So the fire alarm went off, and it wasn't just ours; it was for the whole building. So all I could think was, "God damn, Reagan's gonna want me to get the cats." So that's all I went and did.
Get the cats!
And then we went and sat in the car. And it turns out we could have been helpful citizens to our community and found a perpetrator, but our fucking Ring camera isn't charged. So we weren't able to capture that person.
Someone pulled the fire alarm?
Someone pulled the fire alarm. God damn it. And now I'm even more mad because you know what? They fucking interrupted this shit.
We were right in the middle of Penn State.
Moving on. Next game.
Next team. The last.
That's what I need to say about Penn State.
Well, maybe not the last, but the last one that I really know anything about or have any skin in the game in is fucking Miami losing to UNC. UNC actually looked. They started out pretty slow. Miami looked pretty good, but then North Carolina just started picking it up. Drake May, dart.
He was throwing that ball all over the place, man. And that defense looks a lot better than it did in the past. Like they were a team that had a good offense, really bad defense. Defense looks like it might have turned it around a little bit. They kind of shut down Tyler Van Dyke. They got some garbage time touchdown, but like that, they dominated that game. Absolutely dominated it.
Actually, Drake May wasn't like dart. He was 17 for 33, 273, and 4 touchdowns. No interceptions.
They ran the ball well. They ran the ball very well too. I mean, they just played a good, damn good game all around, and I wouldn't be surprised. Again, ACC kind of some of those teams stumble every so often too, but right now you can look forward and see possibly an undefeated Florida State against an undefeated UNC and the ACC championship game because they do not play each other the rest of the season, which would be crazy.
Shit. That would be
Switch it to the 12-team playoff this year.
Please. Please. But yeah, okay. Any other college games you wanted to go over? You had a little bit of stuff here, but I think we went over most of it.
They don't matter. Nah.
Gotcha.
There are teams that we thought mattered, but not really.
Not really. Another team that I thought was going to matter in the NFL, but not really. The Patriots. Top 3 pick is coming closer to reality.
You guys are like 6th right now somehow, aren't you?
I know. Yeah, I just saw that today. 6th. 6th at 1-5.
Because the Bears have the Panthers pick, and the Bears and the Panthers are both so bad.
And then the Broncos, and then the fucking someone else too. I don't even.
The Giants, probably.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, but Parker drops the deep ball that would have put him in midfield with like a minute left, but instead he just drops it, just straight up drops it. Then a false start puts him halfway to the goal line, and then the next play, fucking Verdi and Lowe decides to just not block Max Crosby at all, and he sacks Mac Jones in the end zone, safety, 17-21. My boss actually won like $500 off of that because they were part of his parlay, and I think he had the Raiders minus 3.5, or like he had the Raiders by like 3 points, I think.
Yeah.
They won by 4 with that safety.
Nice. What a way to cash at the safety. It's like you
Seriously.
have no hope, and all of a sudden you have all the hope in the world.
He told me that, and I was like, holy shit. Well, I mean, at least it, brought someone some happiness.
Yeah, definitely not you.
Just pitiful. 1-5. Absolutely pitiful.
Yeah.
Well, the Eagles finally lost, too. We're on the same page now, huh?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Cheers to that.
As much fun as watching the Phillies has been, the Eagles game was frustrating this week. Not even as an excuse, because Garrett Wilson said it too. The turf was horrible. Like, it was such a shitty game. It could have been it could have been like a much better game overall, but it was just real shitty all around. Turf was horrible. That Jets defense is real. I mean, they brought at least 4 different
whole game.
They've brought like 4 like superstar quarterbacks like a whole notch down. Like they brought Patrick Mahomes down to like their level. Josh Allen didn't have a good game against them. Jalen Hurts didn't have a good game against them. And then who else did they play that? Someone else who was considered really good who just did not have a good game against them. But like their defense is no, not quite. Maybe I think Russell Wilson had another game, but he's not elite. So like 3 of the top 5 quarterbacks, I'd say, they've given fucking fits, and losing Lane Johnson certainly didn't help.
That 14 points in the first quarter was all that was scored.
Yeah, I would rather lose that game before Miami than win that game, like the way it was played. Like not win that game by a blowout. Like win that game ugly, because then it's not a full wake up call. Like now it's a full wake up call. Like hey, like Lane is good. Lane should be able to play this Sunday. Like the offense something's not right with the offense. The defense played pretty damn well. Like they let up some plays to Garrett Wilson, but that's going to happen with a depleted secondary. Like we're missing Slay, Maddox is out all year. Like we're missing a whole bunch. But
yeah,
I'd rather go into the Dolphins game after a loss like that at home Sunday night with the Kelly Green than after just stumbling through the Jets. So I'm okay with it. You had to lose. Like it had that aura today of teams were just it was gonna be a weird day. Like the Bills had a weird day later. They almost lost to the Giants.
In a different way than USC, you could feel this loss building up.
Yeah.
It was they have been playing a little bit sloppily. And if they can't throw it downfield that well, it's tough. You're going to have a tough time.
It wasn't even that. Like they shut the run down pretty much. Like, and that's a big part of our game. Like we weren't really able to get DeAndre Swift going, and that really killed us a lot.
Mm-hmm. No really explosive plays for the most part.
I'm hoping this is a wake-up call, maybe even, like, just simplify the offense, and we just have a fucking beautiful little offensive shootout on Sunday night, and hopefully a win for us. It's hard to think, like, I don't want it to be a loss at the Link and the Kelly Green. Like, it's gotta be a win. Like, you cannot lose this game. You absolutely can't lose this game. Because I
Not
would
in
be
the Kelly Greens at home.
so much more upset. Like, especially depending on the way we lose, will make it that much more worse. Like, just win this game. Make it a wake-up call. Jalen Hurts is going to ball out. Everyone's going to get the ball. We signed Julio Jones today. He probably won't be out there that much this week, if at all. But hell,
will he be number 3?
Yeah, I mean, our number 3's been Zacchaeus and Watkins, and Quez hasn't been that great, and Zacchaeus dropped a couple balls this week too. Like, our 3s have dropped some crucial balls.
Well, that's why. There you go.
Julio said he's like, no, I'm here to compete, which, like, good. Hell, light a fire under AJ and Devontae's ass too. Like, he's not going to compete for a number 1 or 2, but hey,
I have admittedly been listening to Travis and Jason Kelsey's podcast, and it comes out weekly every Wednesday. And they were like, yeah, like having that championship aura around you from Julio, or that like aura of greatness, will elevate the play of other guys.
I think it absolutely will. I think, like, they can both learn from him because they're both younger than him. So I think AJ and Devonta can learn some things from him, just some of that veteran experience.
There were some upsets, a lot of defense this week.
Dude,
a lot of defense in that 49ers-Browns game, another upset.
You want to talk about defense? The under was like 12-2-1 this week.
Ooh,
12-2-1.
Jesus.
Like, the under overall is hitting at like a 61% clip, just like cashing left and right, which is crazy. But
yeah, it's not bad per se, but I mean, I do like watching this style of football for the most part. But I mean, come on, sometimes we need a little bit of offensive spark.
Of flash. But yeah, the Browns, Niners. Browns that defense is for real. I didn't think they were kind of fake, but I was like, it'll be really interesting to see what they do against San Francisco, and what they do, and
with fucking PJ Walker at quarterback.
Yeah, and that's the thing. People are like, oh well, the Niners had injuries. They lost Debo and they lost McCaffrey, and it's like, yeah, but in that system, losing Debo and McCaffrey shouldn't really matter against a team that is starting PJ Walker. You should win that game. Like, you really should.
Who had 192 yards and 2 interceptions.
Like, defense just dominated that game.
Yep. 4 field goals from the Browns.
They're
and a
so
touchdown.
good. Their defense is so good. Myles Garrett is on another level. I think I won't get into that because that's a whole big thing. But like their defensive coordinator, like all time against Kyle Shanahan, like he never scores more than 20 points or something like that, and he's undefeated.
I saw that today. Yeah. Holy shit! What a performance from the Browns.
Incredible. Let's see what happens when Deshaun gets back. I mean, they're definitely a playoff team just with their defense alone. It's just a matter of, will Deshaun turn back the clock? Like, will he ever be the Deshaun we knew in Houston again? I think not. But if he can be, damn, that's a scary team because they got Kareem Hunt back and he's just right back into it too. He had a touchdown that day.
I picked up Kareem Hunt in the league. I need to figure something out. I'm 1-5. I will do anything.
I'm just casually cruising along, 6-0, baby.
Fucking 6-0 right at the top. You son of a bitch. Victory rip. The Bears are still the Bears. They lost to the Vikings 19-13.
And Tyler Badgett will be starting this week's game for them.
Yes.
He ended up having to play that game, and that was just I guess like a D2
He
legend just had broke all the records in D2. He played in a PSAC. He played against IUP.
What?
Yeah, the Shepherd
Dude, he looks
College
so
is
small.
part of the PSAC. The West Virginia team is part of PSAC, which is crazy. But yeah, he's part
Oh
of
yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah.
He broke like all the records. He has like 5,000 yards in a season, like shit like that.
Shit. Yeah, he was not looking good at all, and I have the Raiders defense against him next week. So, let's go.
Yeah,
Max Crosby's gonna eat.
The Bears, man, they just, I don't even know what to say, because Justin Fields was even playing kind of good for a little bit there, and like just the whole organization as a whole is just a disaster. Like someone's gotta do something to get shit changed.
Oh well, they have the top 2 picks right now, but they better start winning. The Panthers better start winning, so we can move up from fucking 6. Because, dude, we have the fucking
bad.
we have the Bills and then the Dolphins right after that. So like,
Yeah,
we're
but like
fucked.
you guys, you guys should crush a Panthers team. Like you guys should crush the Panthers. But like the Panthers are really bad.
No, because that would be an Adam Thielen revenge game against Bill Belichick, and he would have like 200 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Oh my goodness, we're that low. Oh boy.
Yeah, we're that
Oh,
low.
wow.
That
Wow,
low.
we're going Adam Thielen revenge game against Bill Belichick on the fucking Carolina Panthers. Whoa, what a fall from grace we have over here.
Yeah, we're just fucking
Ooh,
picking straws here.
we are spiraling.
Yeah, and the Panthers even lost 42-21 to the Dolphins this week.
The Dolphins were down 14-0 and covered a 15.5-point spread. Like, what? I'm scared. Like, I'm 100% scared of that offense that weekend. I think our front seven, if Jalen Carter's back, and kind of put some pressure, but they're just... I listened to someone talk about Mike McDaniel's offense today, too, and I'm like, oh, God, he just does so many things that make it so hard to defend when you're, like, learning about it. It's like, good Lord. All his motions. There's a motion every play.
Dude, I'm happy for Raheem Mostert. He's been holding up, and he's been fucking killing it. Like, this is what he should have been doing in San Francisco. But I'm so happy he's staying healthy.
Mike McDaniel's like
just
a
cool to
running
see.
back guru.
Mm-hmm. And he must be a Tyreek Hill guru, too, because he's still balling out. 6 receptions, 163 yards, and a touchdown.
If they
6!
keep playing this way, I mean, they should break records. Like, he should get over 2,000 yards.
It sucks they already lost.
And you know what?
It really sucks they lost to the Bills.
No, you want the Dolphins to possibly be the undefeated team again.
Dude, if any team's going to do it, it may as well be the Dolphins again.
No,
because
you
I don't
should
want
be
that
like,
honor to be
fuck
on
that.
any single other team. I don't care anymore. No, I don't care.
Oh,
I don't care at all.
But like it's funny because like even if Tyreek Hill gets if Tua stays healthy, there's definitely an easy path for Tyreek to get 2,000 yards, and even if he doesn't, or even if he does, he's probably still not the MVP because there's a possibility Tua has like 5,500 or like breaks the passing record. So like you just give it to him at that point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's fucking
another
good,
team.
man. He's so good.
Tua is really good. I didn't want to believe it, but I. Oh, this is what I wanted to say. The announcer in the Washington game was like, "Oh, watching lefties throw the ball is so fluid and so smooth." Dude,
Yeah,
it
no one
looked
says
like the announcer literally said that, and I was like, "What do you mean? It looks like the ball is going to go nowhere where he's aiming. It looks awful."
No one says that.
Tua and Penix, it look like they're not going to hit their target at all.
You ever
But
see
they
the video
do.
of when they flip Tua to so that he's right-handed? I think we actually talked about it on here.
Yeah, to Dan Marino. Yeah, we talked about that. Just the Dan Marino comparison stretch. The Dolphins will do anything for former glory. But another team that put a beat down on another team here.
Inferior opponent.
Another team that beat another team. The Jaguars beat the Colts 37-20. This is what the Jaguars should be doing.
Trevor Lawrence is hurt, though.
Yeah. Well, hold up.
He might play this week,
says
but I don't think they're sure yet.
Trevor Lawrence walked through the locker room into the post-game podium without a limp or anything on his injured left knee.
Okay.
That was right after the game.
So I guess we'll see. I mean, the Colts are they're not who cares about the Colts without Anthony Richardson now? He's out for the whole year. It sucks. It was fun to at least watch him play. But yeah, the Jags should be doing this. They are a good team. Get Travis Etienne rolling, because
I bet you're glad you didn't trade him to me.
yeah, I am. I thought about it and I was like, no, I can't do this. But he could be up there for discussion as one of the best running backs in the league today. I think you could put him up there because he's still one of the few that's like the sole running back. Like Tank Bigsby gets some handoffs, but Etienne is the feature running back, and he's damn good. Him and Kenneth Walker are really fucking good.
Yeah, they are. I mean, if Bijan keeps doing what he's doing and Algier keeps sucking, Bijan's going to be up there too.
Yeah. The Falcons they're an interesting team.
They are. I don't know what to think of them.
Aren't they?
Yeah. It's kind of like last year. They were so intriguing, and then they just started losing. And now it's like the same thing this year. They're 3-3 again after being what?
Like this team,
3-1.
Like if you start Taylor Heineke, there's this possibility this team only has like 1 or 2 losses. Like he's viable to do some fuck shit that might be like, oh, this ends bad, but he's viable to do some fuck shit like he did against the Eagles, and he wins you a couple of those games that Desmond Ridder didn't.
Maybe, but I think it also makes
their defense is good.
Well, I think it makes the offense more predictable. You can do a lot of stuff with Ridder. And
you can do so much with Taylor Heineke because he's just.
I know, but I also don't think they would have won those games that they won with Ridder with Heineke. So it's.
I don't know.
I think they would.
So
he still might be
anymore.
3-3.
I mean, he had never lost a home game since high school until that game, and he looked really bad. And he's looked really bad a couple times.
Yeah, 3 interceptions. He only had 307 yards because they were trying to come back.
It was bad.
So.
It was very bad.
Yeah, I mean, he's more of a when he doesn't have to throw the ball all the time, he's a lot better.
Like there are some legit teams out there that they're literally missing a quarterback. And I think, and Kirk already said he's not going to do it, but there might be somewhere out there. It probably won't happen, but like an all-star quarterback traded to one of these teams that, like, if they just get him, someone like a Kirk Cousins on the Falcons. Man, imagine Kyle Pitts and Drake London and that fucking and Bijan Robinson.
Oh, Jesus, dude, Drake London would turn into Justin Jefferson.
Suddenly, the Falcons are a scary team, and they could like a contender, like a possible contender.
Man, I mean, just like the Jets, though, where would you get a quarterback? I mean,
I don't think it's gonna happen. But like, this is if there was a year, I think there's a couple teams out there that are like just that little bit away. That if they made that trade, there's still enough time within the next couple weeks where it's like you could turn this into a run. And what a story! Like you have that story behind you, like. Oh, not doing so well over here, traded over here, and went on this run. Like, you have that.
Yeah.
That's just my tinfoil theory for the day, I guess.
Tinfoil theory. All right. Moving on to the 4:00 slot games. We already talked about the Jets and the Eagles, so that's out of the way. Rams and Cardinals. Rams blown away. They get Kyler Murray back, the Cardinals do. Probably not this week, but the week after.
I almost like them better with Josh Dobbs. I don't know. We'll see what Kurt Murray looks like, but
I've actually heard some people are like, well, why wouldn't you try to trade Kyler Murray?
yeah,
Kyler Murray to the Falcons.
that is kind of like, ooh, like you have that dual threat with Kyler Murray because
That might be really cool to have him and Bijan on the same offense.
That might just be fun. That would be like fun.
That actually sounds kind of awesome. Holy shit!
Fun.
And the Falcons definitely have the cap space to do it.
Oh yeah.
But how long can they keep London, Pitts, and Bijan? Then is your big question.
Depends on how they perform. And if you,
Yeah.
I mean, if they get a good quarterback around them, then you'll pay them more. But
Well, how many years are left on Kyler's contract? 2?
I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure he signed a 5-year deal, like not last year, but the year before.
I think he signed something last year because I think he was going to hold out last year or something. And then they had a bad year, and him and Cliff. Like I think that was all last year.
It might be, yeah, 3 or 4 years left on the deal. I mean, that's not terrible.
I forgot he existed until you mentioned his name.
Yeah, I just picked him up today, just in case.
I was excited about him when he came out, and then I just feel like he's such a sourpuss half the time that I'm like, meh. prove me that you're not, and you can play some ball, and then maybe I'll pay attention to you again. Because that's just what the Cardinals have been. They're just meh. The uniforms are the most meh thing I've ever seen in my entire life. They always have been. I don't know in the history of the Cardinals uniforms I've ever seen when I'm like, damn, that's sexy. Like, they need to do some Oregon Duck type shit and get some feathers on there or something, because they are plain and just so horrible.
Well,
I don't know why I just went in on the Cardinals there.
That was kind of odd. I did like the black Cardinals jerseys, but it was always weird that they wore the white helmet like in the Larry Fitzgerald era.
Yeah.
Like, I just think of
good.
that.
Anytime
yeah, but
you
it
do
needed a black helmet, though.
Yeah. Yes. Those ones, and they did do it last year, I think. Those are good. Otherwise, meh. Same with the Falcons now. The Falcons ones are ATL. It's like logos nowadays are just, they make them so just like.
They're so high schooly,
bang.
like arena footballish.
They're just like plain. Like they're so obviously a create your own team logo in Madden. Or like
exactly, it's like it's a default
letters.
font. Yeah,
yeah. Like, give me something
but,
fun.
You know what? Let's move on from two teams that don't matter, and let's move on to, in my opinion, the best team in the league right now, the Lions.
Oh, best team. You know what? They kind of are. But as of right now, the way they're playing, yeah, their defense is humming. Their offense, the offense is Jameson Williams. I thought he was going to be gone for much longer, and now all of a sudden he's catching these incredible touchdown passes.
Yep.
Good for him. Cool. I think, didn't we just recently talk about him maybe getting traded for something for the Lions?
Well, no, last week because you wanted him in fantasy. That's why we talked about him last week.
Oh, that's right.
But yeah, what a shame that the Lions had to come in and spoil the Buccaneers creamsicles. Like how you're worried the Dolphins will come in and ruin the Eagles' Kelsey Greens.
Well, the thing is, the Kelly Greens are like they were good when I wouldn't be surprised if people start calling them Kelsey Greens.
Kelsey Greens.
But like the Eagles had a good history with the Kelly Greens. Like they played well, they had good teams. The Buccaneers, the creamsicles, were like the worst of the worst teams, and anytime they brought them back, they were awful.
That signifies when like people were in the stands in the 70s just, I don't know, doing whatever. They probably just doing acid, snorting coke. Like,
yeah, they weren't watching the game. They were just finding open air to do drugs.
Here's nickel beer night.
Yeah. And they're always bad with them. I think historically, whenever they've brought them back, they get like killed.
That sucks. That sucks so much. It's one of the best alternates, I think.
I know, it looks so cool.
They looked awesome on TV. Like, they really popped.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They really popped. You know what? The Giants really fucking popped. Blew a damn tire.
Dude, they were so close to winning that game. I bet on them to win that game. I saw so many people betting on the Bills, and I was like, the Bills came back from a stinker in London. They came all the way back from London. They did the London trip wrong. Like, there's no way they're going to be completely right. I thought that they would still win the game, but I put the flyer out there on the Giants, especially after the Eagles lost too. And they had a fucking chance to win it, and they had two they just fucked up timing, and I was like half asleep at the end, like waking up, like watching the end.
They did. All right, so that was my big gripe from this whole week about the time management, clock management thing. But the Giants are the fourth team since 1950 to go their first 6 games of a season without an offensive TD in the opening half.
Oh my!
The others,
they don't have an offensive touchdown
in the first half.
Oh, in the first half. Okay. Oh,
speaking of bad, the 3 other teams to do it are the 76 Buccaneers, the 98 Buccaneers, and the 98 Chargers.
That was a good fact.
But also, the Bills' streak of 60 straight halves with a point was snapped. So they went.
Really?
The Bills went 60 straight halves with a point.
Oh,
halves just in total, not the first and second half.
Wow,
that was their longest streak in franchise history.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was 6-0 at halftime.
I don't know what the Giants do at this point. It's like, I mean, they were missing people too. Like, they were missing offensive linemen, but they were so promising last year. And I know they had some, and I said they had fluke wins, but like, I didn't think they were going to suck this bad. I thought there was going to be regression, but this is, oof.
Dude. I mean, they're picking up people right off the couch.
Yeah, straight off the couch, baby.
Justin Poog, that was hilarious. Straight off the couch.
I saw that and I was like, oh, I really didn't fucking know what I was betting on right now. Like, I knew Tyrod Taylor was playing, and I was like, I didn't know I was betting on some guy who like is coming out of retirement.
Yeah,
and then it ended up working out.
It has, but fuck, dude, the Bills somehow won. I don't know how they won, but they did it.
They continue to be weird.
And I think the Giants almost won.
Yeah, they had a chance to win at the end of the game.
Yeah, something happened and they didn't convert or something like like inside the 10-yard line or something.
Something like that. It was a 4th down that they didn't.
At that point,
convert.
I didn't really care.
Yep, I was.
But that was a bad Sunday night game. Last game of the week, Monday night game, Cowboys Chargers. Dude, the Cowboys need something. I did even Phillip Rivers did just, like we've said before, have him come out with his 10 kids and just fill the field.
Yeah.
Have his religious beliefs just take over and let God take the wheel. But speaking of pray action, the Chargers fan went nuts.
Dude, this fan. I was just like, well, this is interesting. And I really didn't think it was going to be a big thing. And I don't know why I didn't. Because then when I opened Twitter the next day, I was like, oh, of course she's all over my Twitter right now. And I just don't care about her. I just don't care. I don't know. Maybe she was hamming it up. Maybe she wasn't. But it was very interesting to watch in the moment.
I expected her. She came on the Pat McAfee show.
Yeah.
And they asked her if she was a plant. And I was really expecting her to say, "What's a plant?"
Yeah.
And she just like, you missed the first one. It was really clever. I'm not going to say it again, but when you go back and watch it, you'll be like, "Oh my god."
Okay.
I'm even more convinced that she's an actress.
Oh, really? I mean, I saw some.
So they found her. They found her like that. All right.
Vikings fan.
She comes on the next day to the Pat McAfee show. She doesn't have a job. She's not doing anything. Guess who's not doing anything? Actors and actresses.
Oh my god.
Oh.
I get, yeah. Fair point.
Except for the strike did end because SNL's back. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was That was hilarious to see her going crazy and then just see her so dejected at the end when they lost.
Yeah. The Chargers are just weird, man. Like, I don't know.
Quentin Johnston
what to think
is
about them.
bad. Quentin Johnston is very bad.
They're just all like even Hurt. You can't even defend Herbert in that game.
He's the one that got bullied. Throws. Yeah, he's the one that got bullied by Gilmore at the end, and Gilmore like just fucking
picked it off,
pushed like hip checked him, and fucking was like, "Give me that ball."
They gotta fire Brandon Staley. That's what's gotta happen. He's gotta go.
That's it. That's seriously it. And I think it was Max Kellerman was like, Dak's missing Kellen Moore, and I'm like, yeah. And Kellen Moore is missing being on the Cowboys, I bet, because being on the Chargers must be so fucking frustrating. Maybe even more than the Cowboys. Like, it's like being on the Chargers, there's like no expectations, a lot less stress. But like, you should still. There should be no reason why they shouldn't be 4-2 right now.
No, there's really not. They should be. There's a lot of games that they've left out on the table. That's probably going to burn them when it comes to. And if they don't, if they do not make the playoffs, Brandon Staley should absolutely be gone. Like, if he's not, that's crazy.
Yep. He's definitely on the hot seat. There's zero reason they should be this bad.
Yeah.
Zero reason other than coaching. You really can't pinpoint something. And I mean, it's the same way. It's the same way with the Patriots. There is no reason they should be this bad. It has to be coaching. But also, when your coach is your GM, that makes it a whole systematic issue.
Yeah, that's a whole that's just top to bottom thing.
The big thing that was grinding my gears this week, and it's been going on all season. What the fuck is up with teams mismanaging the clock so bad at the end of the first half? I don't know. The rules haven't changed within the last 2 minutes, but I have seen teams flub it. I've never seen this level of flubbery in my life. It seems to happen in every other game that I fucking watch, and it's just bad It's bad football.
I think the analytics thing of like going for it and stuff that's come into play now has a couple coaches overthinking things. And like us on the couch are thinking things are so simple to just make a decision or like do the different way. But like even just calling timeouts, I feel like people are like late on calling timeouts or like not calling timeouts when they really should be. Shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like and exactly what you're saying.
I guess coaches have more people in their ear than ever before.
Yeah.
Like kind of, it's that little fucking voice in your head saying, do it, do it, do it, do it.
Yeah.
And it goes against everything you want to say, but you have 7 people up in the booth saying, go for it when you just want to kick a field goal.
Yeah.
It's your ass on the line.
Yeah. Some of these coaches need to remember that sometimes getting points is still good. You want to get the touchdown, going for it and being aggressive is good, but sometimes taking the points is all you can do. I mean, there's some times when people do it and it's like, all right, this is definitely not the time to kick a field goal.
Yeah. Maryland last week, fucking Oregon this week, the Giants this week. I'm sure there are more games where it's the Steelers the other week at the end of the game. It's just I really don't understand why it's so sloppy.
I mean, I think defenses are just better than ever. Like, I feel like so many defenders complain so much that they're making it so much harder for them to play, but like games and points are at like an all-time low right now, and the games are so much more defensive than they ever have been. Like, we're not getting shootouts really. Like, the shootouts are 23-20 games. Like, that's a shootout right now. Like, it's the totals are the lowest they've ever been. Not ever, but like some of the lowest they've ever been. Like, it's crazy. And at some point, offense has got to catch up again. I don't know. Maybe it's whatever they're doing in Miami to unlock it. But something's got to break where the offense catches up again, and we got some more offense going.
They did mention that on New Heights today, and immediately I thought, well, holy shit. Well, if defenses are dominating, well, then they may as well just turn this league into flag football to get ready for the Olympics.
Absolutely. Tyreek Hill already said he's in.
Gronk said he's going to come back out of retirement.
Gronk, it'll be Gronk. That's still like 5 years from now, man. You, as much as I don't know if your skills exactly correlate to flag football well. It's a little bit more about elusiveness, not being able to take him down.
Yeah, exactly. You can't really run people. I'm not even sure if you can run people over in flag football.
You're not allowed,
I'm sure
you're
you
not
can't
allowed to do that.
You can stiff arm him, but Gronk wasn't really known for stiff arms necessarily.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to just muscle people up in flag football. Let's just put the Miami Dolphins out there. Like literally, that's what we should do. We should just put the Miami Dolphins out there.
It would suck to see Marshawn Lynch and Gronk on the 2028 roster. It's like, what are we doing here?
If we don't win gold in that, everyone on that team should be exiled and committed for treason. If we don't win gold, I don't care what fucking form of football it is. We better fucking win.
Go play rugby. Go play Australian rules football. Go do something else.
Yeah. No, you're not allowed in America. You're not even allowed to mention the NFL ever again. Like, you're gone. Done. Especially if there are former NFL players or current NFL players on that team. I do not think NFL teams are going to let current players on it, but I'm sure former players. Like, imagine if we had, like, say Kyler Murray's out of the league, but, like, imagine if Kyler Murray's like, yeah, I'll pick this up. Kyler Murray would be the most electric flag football player ever.
Dude, give me 50-year-old Brady. Are you kidding me?
True, he could be quite surgical.
Are you kidding me?
That would be... him just, but what if the defenses in flag football are too simple that he's like, there's got to be something else in here, and his brain overthinks it.
Have him as the backup quarterback just to get a gold medal on his fucking resume. That would be incredible.
Yeah,
best QB of all time.
I didn't know you were going to end this in a blowfest for Brady. Let's end the podcast. Let's munch. Go ahead, munch on that Brady wiener, Ian.
Yep. Yeah. We need it back. But yeah, that was all that I had to say, RJ. Other than Cyberpunk 2077 is now good. That's my only thing that I had to say. So I'm gonna play that. I'm gonna eat some dinner and then I'm gonna play that.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Hopefully not have the fire alarm go off.
Yeah, hopefully I have to not flee to your car.
Yeah.
Alrighty, RJ. Everyone, Thank you so much for listening. We're almost at 1,000 plays total.
Oh.
Or 1,000 downloads. I'm sure it's more than 1,000 plays, but 1,000 downloads.
Hell yeah. Let's do it.
On RSS. So thank you everyone so much for listening. Make sure you like, leave a comment, subscribe, everything. Follow us on Instagram. I think that's it.
That's it.
Alrighty,
Deuces.
RJ. We'll leave you guys with this.